This week in Retrospect, we take a trip to '92 and look back at the legacy of local media icon Wes Sanders as he celebrates 30 years on air in the border city.
There have been a lot of changes, both technical and personal, in the TV news you've been seeing and Wes has been providing. Here's a look at the set of Midwest Report from the fall of 1987.
Good evening. Free trade talks are in full swing.
Earlier in the 1980s, the look was certainly different. The faces and backdrop may or may not look familiar, but Wes was there.
Congratulations all around. And that's our Midwest Report. Thank you for joining us. Have a pleasant evening. We'll see you tomorrow night. Good night.
Wes has also played a major role in other local programming.
Join me tonight at 7 on Response. My guest is MLA for Mr. Doug Cherry.
It's safe to say every local politician is on a first-name basis with Wes. He's been hosting the political talk show Response for more than 15 years.
Hello again, this is Response. My name is Wes Saunders, our guest.
And the noon hour newscast, Focus on 4, featured a community event segment that had Wes talking to virtually every local organization. Here in 1987, during a promotion for Big Sisters, a surprise arrest.
Oh, goodness sakes. Well, this is, I can officially say this is the first time I've ever been arrested.
But he always took everything in good stride, even when mistakes were made.
This is a CITL update.
Good afternoon. Oil servicing companies here in the Midwest don't want handouts, but they do want the government to do something to keep oil companies pumping. I don't like that. That's a terrible statement.
But through all the years, all the styles, Midwest television has been built around the familiar face of Wes Saunders. Today we celebrate 30 years of serving the Midwest together.
And an international honor. Back in '97, Cold Lake prepares to host NATO allies for fighter jet training.
The quiet streets of Cold Lake are deceiving as excitement is brewing in all corners of the community.
Very welcome announcement. We've been expecting it. All the feedback we've been getting so far has been positive, but there's always that lingering doubt, and when the word finally comes like this, yeah, it's great.
Almost a year ago, the Tri-Town hosted a delegation from NATO to show them the facilities the area has to offer. It worked. Now, a year later, 3 countries, Denmark, the United Kingdom, and Norway, have signed a letter of intent choosing Canada over the U.S. to host their fighter pilot training, and officials believe the number will grow.
As they see some countries already taking definite steps, with their help, the marketing will even be better now to attract more countries. So this is just the beginning.
The fighter force is central to the military strength in most NATO countries, and including our own. That, I think, is going to continue then to require this kind of training. They are going to look for better ways of doing that, better value for dollar.
And that's all for this week in Retrospect.
Retrospect this week is brought to you by Webb's Ford. Worth your while to drive the extra mile. Webb's Ford in Vermilion.